why we're here for news cameras and also for people who might not be keeping up with the news. We have a serious problem with economic inequality and economic injustice in this nation. The top 1% control 43% of financial wealth. The bottom 80% controls just 7% of financial wealth. That means that out of 100 people, one person gets almost half the wealth, and 80 people share 1/6 or just 16% of what that one person has. That's not justice. That's not fair. Is that right? You guys are
right. Unacceptable.
This data, by the way, only goes through 2007, okay?
Oh my.
And the economic recession has hit the middle class.
It never ended.
The middle class is harder than it has hit the top 1%. We all know that.
They barely even noticed.
People have champagne.
Champagne, what's that?
Gas got expensive.
Let's talk about the Bush tax cuts, okay? They're a huge contributor to our deficit, we know that. But I was surprised to know, I just found this out a few weeks ago. The Bush tax cuts resulted, on average, we're talking about on average, for people who earn about $50,000 a year, which is the average income in America. The Bush tax cuts, I think it might be a little bit less, like that, the average income might be a little bit less than that. But anyway, for incomes around $50,000 in America, the Bush tax cuts resulted in a 2%, average of 2% income tax credit for the middle class, while the Bush tax cuts resulted in an average 10% income tax credit for the top 1%. Last year in 2010, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled in a case called Citizens United. I think you know what that is. The corporations are defined as people with the same rights as you and me.
Let's see Texas execute one.
They're people like in their own one.
I know they are not people, which includes the so-called right to spend unlimited money influencing elections, which is not right.
Without disclosing. Right?
Yeah, disclosing how much they're donating, that's right.
Sneaky.
By a politician.
Which means we have a serious problem with the majority, I wouldn't say the majority, but let's say like the outcome, the output of what our elected representatives are doing are not representing the bottom 90%, 99%. They're representing the interest of the top 1%.
Right.
Because that's who's financing their campaigns, and that's who they're representing. We've seen lots of evidence of this lately. For example, and if you need any citations for this data, I've been doing a lot of research and a lot of blogging on this topic. I blog for Liberal Lamp. My blog is liberallamppost.com. I also write for addictinginfo.org. I do a lot of research on this. All of this is properly cited, so email me at occupyrally@gmail if you need the citations. And
recent protests in New York City and across the nation have resulted in dozens of arrests. The main theme of these protests, fixing the economy. WRAL's Tara Lynn joins us now from our newsroom following a meeting with these local activists. Tara?
Renee, it is a movement that started with a few people outside of Wall Street, and now it's moving across the country and right here to Raleigh. People gathered tonight to join the Occupy Wall Street movement and voice their anger about the American economy. As the sun set over downtown Raleigh, dozens shared their frustrations in Moore Square about the country's failing economy and the bank bailouts.
We bailed out them, and the taxpayers' money bailed out them, and they didn't sacrifice anything, but they actually benefit.
I've never done anything like this before, and I don't know everything that's going on, and I don't pretend to understand it all. I know that I get up every morning and I bust my butt to take care of my family. And I'm still getting nowhere.
Tanya Glover and many others gathered for the first time as part of Occupy Raleigh. It's a group echoing the concerns of hundreds of protesters outside of Wall Street in New York, who say they are tired of the richest Americans having the most power.
Maybe we need to start with the anger and then develop the proposals based on that to push those forward.
Congressman Brad Miller came to listen. He says the movement has been criticized for not having specific proposals to fix the lopsided economy, but that may be okay right now.
And I think people here, for instance, if you ask them, they would all say, yeah, banks ought not be as big as they are. There were legislative proposals. I introduced one in the House that went nowhere. But if there was a movement behind it, pushing it, it would make a big difference.
It's groups like this that have changed America. It may take a long time, but it will happen.
Glover says this is just the beginning of the movement and believes what may have sprung from anger could one day return the power to the people. The group's next step is to plan an official rally in Raleigh, and they plan to do so later this month. Renee?
They certainly have some strong opinions. Tara Lynn, live in our newsroom. Thank you.
Yo, this one goes out to our friends in New York City, because we are the 99%. We are the 99%. We are fed up with this bullshit. We are the 99%. You better get used to it. We are the 99%. We don't believe in this government. We are the 99%. It's just a plan. Legalize it. We are the 99%. Come on. We are fed up with this bullshit. We are the 99%. You better get used to it. We are the 99%. Come on. We don't believe in this government. We are the 99%. It's just a plan. Legalize it. We are the 99%. We are fed up with this bullshit. We are the 99%. You better get used to it. We are the 99%. We don't believe in this government. We are the 99%. It's just a plan. Legalize it. We are the 99%. We are the 99%. That's loud now, come on. We are the 99%. Sing it into the camera for our friends in New York City, come on. We are the 99%. We are the 99%. We are the 99%. We are the 99%.
Hey, Brandon, I forgot to put an SD card in here.
Yo, this one goes out to our friends in New York City.
The aeroplane and the radio have together. The very nature of these inventions cries out for the goodness in men, cries out for universal brotherhood, for the unity of us all. Even now, my voice is reaching millions throughout. Victims of a system that makes men torture and imprison innocent people.
What are you going to do now?
For those who can hear me, I say, do not despair. The misery that is now upon us is but the passing of greed, the bitterness of men who fear the way of human progress. The hate of men will pass, and dictators die. And the power they took from the people will return to the people. And so long as men die, liberty will never perish. Soldiers, don't give yourselves to brutes. Men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, or what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men with machine minds and machine hearts. You are not machines, you are not cattle, you are men. You have the love of humanity in your hearts. You don't hate, only the unloved hate, the unloved and the unnatural. Soldiers, Don't fight for slavery. Fight for liberty. In the 17th chapter of St. Luke it is written, the kingdom of God is within man, not one man nor a group of men, but in all men, in you. You, the people, have the power. The power to create machines, the power to create happiness. You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful, to make this life a wonderful adventure. Then in the name of democracy, let us use that power. Let us all unite. Let us fight for a new world, a decent world, that will give men a chance to work, that will give youth a future and old age a security. By the promise of these things, brutes have risen to power, but they lie. They do not fulfill that promise. They never will. Dictators free themselves, but they enslave the people. Now let us fight to fulfill that promise. Let us fight to free the world, to do away with national barriers, to do away with greed, with hate and intolerance. Let us fight for a world of reason, a world where science and progress will lead to all men's happiness. Soldiers, in the name of democracy, let us all unite!
I see corporatism, fascism, the police state. I see an American empire, America that's lost its way. I do not see true democracy. I do not hear the voice of the people. Finally, we've risen up. We are 99%. We are 99%.
I don't know how to achieve collective liberation, which we're all striving for, but I mean, I think it all needs to happen. This
We are the 99%. 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 Yeah. The 99%. We are 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 the 99%. Yeah. Yeah. I brought my skates. I'm like, I'm not marching around the city. Now I'm a mobile camera. The 99%! We are the 99%! The 99%! We are the 99%! We are the 99%!
The attempts to suppress voting rights. Nonsensical rules in Congress
are shutting down the voice of America.
Are shutting down the voice of America.
We are bearing the cost of their misdeeds.
We are bearing the cost of their misdeeds.
The 99%! We are the 99%! We are the 99%! We are the 99%! We
Join us. Let's make it work. Talk to some of the people here and see what's going on. All right, this is Jay, one of the organizers behind Occupy Tampa. Why are you here?
We're here to show solidarity with Occupy Wall Street, who's protesting corporatism and American greed and corruption throughout the American business system, and just in general. But we're also here to try and assemble the people of Tampa and empower them to have their voice heard, to come and voice their opinion,
here.
and simply
I just want to check in with you guys quickly and let you know what's going on. Hi guys, how y'all doing there in internet land? Things are going good here. Got some good rest this weekend.
The goals of the movement aren't clearly defined yet, simply because the General Assembly has not met
what up, Spartacus on IRC? Alright, so I just wanted to let you guys know what happened at a kind of summary meeting. It wasn't exactly a GA here in Minneapolis tonight. I was not like an official participant in any way, but I just wanted to share the quick message with you about what people were talking about. And I thought overall the turnout was really good. The weather was really nice tonight, and there was just a lot of really genuine people, and it was cool. So overall, things are looking really good here in Minnesota. I think we should all feel good about where Minnesota's at right now.
Come back together.
So, okay.
We're coming and joining
all right, and not only that, also really excellent literature for posters has been developed.
If we can do this with just the citizens of Tampa meeting in the General Assembly, even if it's just a picnic or a festival or something, to bring the people back out, bring the people out with their children,
I think the media delegation. I'm not exactly sure the name of the teams, but they're looking good.
That's what I see.
So,
do you see these demonstrations moving towards something bigger that will grow within the next decade or so?
So I thought they did a really good job whipping up some really nice stuff. Yeah, they did. These are nice posters, symbolic. They did a good job. All right, so yeah, I just wanted to run down. They basically had a messaging committee jump right out in front and kind of develop some initial messages that will be laid out at the QA. And we'll get in on that real quick. All right, so I think we should be setting up a new internet that says DR or Doctor. That would be good. Yeah, shadow dark nets and mesh nets.
You are
go all of it. Make it happen.
You are the working people. You are the working class. You have
so this was basically a sheet that was handed out from the messaging team. This one has the top cut off, or actually, yeah. But basically, people before profits. Make the rich 1% pay. We, the 99%, want our voice heard. We demand jobs, healthcare, education, housing, infrastructure, and collective bargaining union rights. Bullet points include tax the rich and corporations and the wars, bring the troops home, cut military spending, protect the social safety net, strengthen social security, improve Medicare for all, and corporate welfare for oil companies and other big business interests, transition to a clean energy economy, reverse environmental degradation, protect worker rights, including collective